Hello, we're going to learn advanced division and finding the answer in decimals in case of remainder. The first question that we are considering is 842 divided by 57. Let's start with the abacus. So I place 842. Instead of placing 842 at the center, I would place it here so that I have sufficient rods in between the dividend and the divisor. So I place 842 divided by, and I leave 4 rods and I put 57. Okay, so let's start dividing. This is my dividend, this is my divisor, and what answer I get will be called as quotient. Okay, so 8 divided by 5. First I compare the first two rods. So 8 divided by 5 once. 5 times 1 is 0, 5. You remember that I have to skip a rod for 0 and I take 5 of it. Then I have to multiply this second number from the divisor with the quotient and subtract it after leaving one rod from these two rods. 7 times 1 is, skip a rod, 0, 7. So minus 10 plus 3 plus 3 is plus 5 minus 2. So the first number that I found is 1. I will place it here, 1. Next number, how do I find? Then again, I divide 272 by 57. So 5 goes to 27, 5 times 25. And then 7 times 5 is, skip a rod, 35. But there is no 35. That means the question that we have chosen is not right. So I reduce it by 1. And I add 0, 5. Because there was 5. So I have to multiply that 1 with this 5 and add 0, 5. This number is still standing to be subtracted the multiple of 7 and 4. 7 times 4 is 28. Skip a rod, 20 and an 8. Minus 2, minus 20 and minus 10 plus 2. So I did minus 28. Then second number I found, which is 4. I place 4. But now you see the number that is left is 44, which means it's a remainder. We were dividing it by 57. 44, I have moved until this row. That means 44 is a remainder, but still we have to break it down in decimals. So what do? Of course, 44 is smaller than 57. So how can I divide? I have to add a 0 behind. So I have to add a 0 behind. For that, I have to borrow a decimal. So I borrow a decimal here. I put a decimal here, I borrow a 0. Okay, so the number now becomes 440. And I get a decimal. So I place my decimal here. Now, let's start again the process. 44 divided by 5, it is 440 now, divided by 5. 5 times 8 is 40. But now you see 7 times 8 is 56. Skip a rod, 56. It's not possible. That means 8 was not the right thing. So I reduce it by 1 and add 0, 5. Yeah. So now 7 times 7 is, skip a rod, 56. 7 times 7 is, skip a rod, 49. 40 and 9. 9 is minus 10 plus 1. So the first number after decimal I found is 7. Let's find out this other number. Let's continue with our division. 5, again it is 410. Once I borrow a decimal, that means every time I have a 0 with me. 1 0 is getting attached. After every iteration, first iteration is finished, then a 0 comes. Okay. So 41, 5 times 8 is 40. But now I see I'm left with 10. And 7 times 8 is, skip a rod, 56. That's not right. So I reduce it by 1 and add 0, 5. Then 7 times 7 is minus 40 and minus 9. So second number that I found after decimal is 7 again. Let's continue further division again. In the next iteration, I get a 0 again. So I have a number 110 now, divided by 57. 5 goes to 11. 5 times 2 is 10. But 7 times 2 is, skip a rod, 14. That means 2 is not right. So reduce it by 1. Add 0.5. 7 times 1 is, skip a rod, 0.7. So minus 10 plus 3. So the third number is 1. I need not know continuing further because I have found the number after 3 decimal places. That's perfectly fine. It is still not completely divided, but that's a very small amount which doesn't make a lot of difference to us. So the answer is 14.771. Thank you. I will